Okay. Hello and welcome to a live interview that we're doing with Lorraine Devereaux from MacInytyre, and we're very pleased to have her join us via a live link. I'm just going to bring her on screen now and say hi. Hi Lorraine, how are you doing?
Hi, good afternoon everybody.
So where are you at the moment? Are you at MacInytyre or at home?
So I'm working from home today. Like a lot of my colleagues across the organisation, we, as much as possible, try and work from home. So yes, so reporting from my very warm conservatory this afternoon.
Okay. And for people that don't know very much about MacInytyre, can you describe the charity? Because I know you've been in Milton Keynes for a long time, but I don't think a lot of people know the range and scope of the organisation. So it'd be really good before we start talking about how you're coping with coronavirus.
Yeah, of course. So you're right. We've been in MacInytyre for a long time. MacInytyre's been in Milton Keynes, sorry, for a long time. The charity was actually formed in a little village in Bedfordshire back in the 60s, a little village called Westerning, by the parents of a little boy who, at that time, people with learning disabilities really were not provided very many opportunities. In fact, a lot of people with learning disabilities and Down syndrome then ended up in institutions, and those parents were quite extraordinary actually, because they decided and really fought for a better life for people with learning disabilities, and that's really how the charity formed. So fast forward 54 years, and we now support over 1,200 young people, children, young people and adults with learning disabilities, and over 200 of those are here in Milton Keynes. So we support them in a number of ways. Through our registered services, which are services where people live independently or with support. We have our outreach services, which works a lot with young people and works with local colleges and works on NVQ education, but also life skills. So that's our no limits provision. And then we have day services as well. So they are our what we call lifelong learning services, where people with learning disabilities and autism can go in and spend the day with support workers and work on all kinds of activities. So yeah, really, really busy. We do lots here in the community, and as well as that, we've got our 2 coffee shops. So we have a coffee shop on Great Holm, and there's another one on the High Street in Stony Stratford. And they are fantastic. If you've never been, once we get the other side of this, do come and see us, because they are social enterprises that are worked in and helped run by people that we support. So it's a fantastic showcase for what people with learning disabilities really can achieve.
Yeah, I actually have an office. Our studios in normal times are in Kiln Farm, so I've actually been to the cafe that you have in Stony, and I think it's just a great icebreaker for people that have not enjoyed being served by people that have learning disabilities, and you just feel the warmth and the love when you're actually enjoying a good coffee and a slice of cake.
Yeah, absolutely. And we hear that a lot from people who visit the coffee shops, and we've got an amazing catering team and team of support workers that make those businesses really, really tick. And they're really missing seeing their regulars. We have lots of regulars that go in the coffee shops, and I know the guys there are really missing seeing those faces
Yeah.
at the moment. Most of the people that are working in our coffee shops are based at our registered services. So those registered services at the moment are in lockdown. We're continuing to support people. So we have frontline workers that continue to support them and support them 24/7 if that's what their needs are.
Okay.
And whilst those coffee shops are closed, what they're actually doing is, although they can't serve the general public, they're actually cooking and providing meals for our services. So they're still busy, and it's a still hive of activity behind the scenes and baking and creating all sorts of lovely things. but instead of being able to serve the general public, they're actually supporting each other, which is really nice.
And what sort of challenges? Obviously, that's fantastic that you've adapted, like any business would. You've diversified. You've found alternative ways for giving the right kind of work for the people that you're offering job opportunities for, and serving the community. But it must be a very difficult time, both financially and resource-wise, with people often having to self-isolate. What are your specific challenges in keeping the operation going?
Yeah, I mean, it covers all those things that you've just mentioned. So we fall into that social care category that's very much across the news at the moment, as well as our frontline NHS staff. We are providing care and support. Some of the people that we support are very affected by their learning disability and rely on us for everything, from personal care to medication to helping them get dressed and just helping to live day by day. Some of the people that we support are more independent, but yeah, it's hard for us. We've got an amazing team of frontline workers who, like all our frontline workers at the moment, are doing their best to support the people that we need to support as a charity, but of course have their own families and situations as well. So yeah, overall we're doing well. Everybody's keeping us safe and as well as they possibly can. And we've had the challenges that many care providers and social care settings have had in terms of getting PPE to the right place at the right time when it's needed, hand sanitizer and all those sorts of things. A few weeks ago, when we first went into lockdown, we had issues when some of the support workers were going to do shopping for some of the guys that we were supporting, because some of the supermarkets were sort of like restricting how many of certain things we could buy. So we've had to work a little bit on that and making sure that that we're recognised, and when we're going out and about, that people realise that we are looking after others when support workers are shopping and things like that. So there's been some challenges along the way for sure. I think the really strong message that we have as an organisation is that we're really pulling together. So, it's sort of all hands on deck really, and whatever we need to do to get through the current time, we're doing that. And all of us, whether it's myself as fundraiser or somebody in accounts, or somebody who is one of our frontline workers, we never forget the reason that we work for MacInytyre and what it's all about, and it is about the people that we're supporting. So,
well, I think that's really heartening to hear, because we've seen some concerns over the people that are looking after people in care getting the right PPE and resources, but it looks like you've overcome all of those challenges. But what sounds really exciting is that you've come up with a new initiative on fundraising, which made the headlines. So I'd like to really explore that. Was this something you created yourself, and what is it, just for people that have not heard of it?
Yeah, it was an idea that I had, but to be fair, there were lots and lots of virtual business networking groups that popped up as we went into lockdown. So my role at MacInytyre is corporate and events fundraiser. So as well as looking after our events, which range from everything from the Dragon Boat Festival, which normally happens in the summertime, to local fetes and garden parties. I look after our London Marathon runners and people who take on personal challenges. But another part of my role as fundraiser for MacInytyre is corporate fundraising, which is working with our brilliant business community. And that's big and small businesses who want to support us or volunteer for us or get involved in any way. And of course, once we entered lockdown, a lot of what I do each week is networking, and that came to a very abrupt halt, along with all the other events that we had planned for this year. So really it was just to try and make sure that we keep in touch with people, really, and that people still got the opportunity to find out what we were doing at MacInytyre and how we were doing. You know, lots and lots of people are very kind and want to know how we're doing as a charity and how the people that we support are. And that's really lovely. So this was an opportunity to not only connect with our corporate partners and other businesses who know us already, but also maybe meet some new connections, and also to get people talking to each other. And I think we've now had 3 of our MacInytyre meetups, and I think the thing that is really, really clear is that people are really welcoming the opportunity to talk to each other about how they are finding things as a business at the moment, whether they're a real small business or somebody who's self-employed, right up to bigger businesses who are doing their best to also navigate through some really strange times at the moment. So it's been really lovely. So yeah, it's great.
So how would you describe the networking in terms of how it operates? How do you join? What appears on the screen? And how many people can you have? Because when I go to networking, there's 50 to 100 people there. Is there a sort of limit on the number of people that can join? And just give us an idea of how the operation works.
Yeah, sure. So I'm not sure what the limit is actually. The last few weeks, so we've only been going for 3 weeks, the maximum we've had has been 13 people that have joined us. So the way it works is it's £3 to come and join us, and we are sharing the money and the proceeds of our business group with another local charity, the Bus Shelter here in Milton Keynes. So every penny is being split between ourselves and the Bus Shelter. So and the reason we chose the Bus Shelter is that some of our learners here in Milton Keynes last year saw people who were sleeping rough around the city centre, and it stimulated a whole conversation about why people didn't have somewhere to go home to sleep to. So that generated and kick-started their own sleep out last year, and they raised around £500 for the guys at the Bus Shelter. So when we were looking at doing a business group, and the guys had planned to do some fundraising this year for them again, we thought actually it would be quite nice for the business community to have the opportunity to support the Bus Shelter and us. So yeah, it's £3, pay as you go each week, and we send you a link to join our Zoom group the day before. And the way it works is we have an opportunity, everyone has an opportunity to introduce themselves, introduce what their business does. And again, it's for any business of any size. Even if you are someone who is self-employed, please do come along and talk to us and share with us what you do. And then we have a little bit of time for a bit of open networking where people chat about how they're finding things, perhaps any sort of triumphs or trials or tribulations or whatever you want to sort of call it that have come up over the last sort of week or so since we last met, or perhaps if you're a new business to join our group. And then we have a guest speaker. So every week we have somebody who speaks for a little bit longer about something that they think people would like to hear about. So this week, for instance, we had the guys from Franklin Solicitors. They were our guest speakers, and they spoke about how they're continuing to support people in the community with making a will, and if you want to make any changes at all, and just how as a business they're still continuing to support the local community here in Milton Keynes. So yeah, it's been really, really, really really interesting to hear so many people talk and how they are actually dealing with the current situation.
And you talk about a wide range of businesses, so you're not really prescriptive about who would join. It seems a very open group. Can you give us an idea? You've mentioned Franklin Solicitors, but you know, the range and variety of businesses that are joining.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, we had Franklin's. We've had a few people that are events type companies. So obviously, events in particular have been hit hard by everything being cancelled, and not sure at the moment when restrictions are going to lift. So event companies, people who run conferences, who do video production. We've had companies that are in retail. We've had people who have sort of food or sort of hospitality type businesses join us. But we've also had people who do office furniture. We've had people who do coaching. So the very first week, the week that we kicked these meetups off, we had a brilliant guy who runs a business by supporting young people. He's an ex-teacher, and he spoke about supporting our young people through this crisis. So focusing on well-being, mental well-being in particular, and how to juggle that whole thing of working at home with being able to support children and young people that people might have at home as well, and striking a balance between the two. So he was a great speaker to listen to, and a lot of people who joined that week could really identify with what he was saying about that pressure of homeschooling, but also still trying to work as well.
Perfect. What I'm going to do now, with the wonders of technology, I'm going to attempt to bring up the poster you sent me, and you can just talk over and tell people about the joining. It's got all the information. It's on screen now. Yeah. Over to you.
Okay, so it's our MacInytyre meetup. It's on every Tuesday morning from 9:30. It's £3 to come and join us. And we'd love to meet some new businesses. We've got some great speakers lined up in the next few weeks. So next Tuesday, which I think the date is possibly 27th, 28th. I haven't got a diary in front of me, but whatever the date is next Tuesday, we've got a brilliant lady coming along to talk about social media and all you need to know about using social media if you are a small business or a big business or someone who's self-employed, how to make that work for you right now. We've got our local MP coming to join us in a couple of weeks, Ben Everett. So yeah, we'd love to see people join us, and all the proceeds that we make from the MacInytyre meetups are being split between ourselves and the bus shelter. So all the details I can put on a link and are on the poster, but drop me an email and I'll send you a link to join the group.
Lorraine, you're a genius, and I think this is an absolutely fantastic credit to Milton Keynes, bringing businesses and charity together. I feel bad I haven't actually joined it myself, so
come and join us.
I'm going to have to. Yeah, definitely.
Please. So all the details, I will just say as well that all the details for the networking group, as well as other things that we're doing to fundraise whilst we get through this COVID crisis, are all on our website, which is www.macintyrecharity.org. We're also a principal partner of MKFM, so if any of the guys through the Facebook group follow the MKFM Facebook group, or listen to Darren and Leah on air, we are a principal partner of them, so there's always information about MacInytyre and what we're doing through those guys as well.
Okay, I wish you all the best. Stay safe, everybody. Stay safe and locked down. Keep on doing what you're doing. And as I said, I promise I will come along next Tuesday and make a nuisance of myself.
Lovely. Be great to see you. Thank you.
Okay, so there you go. If you're a charity or an organisation and you would like to tell us what you're doing to beat the coronavirus in Milton Keynes, then you can do an interview like this. Just send us a message on Facebook or newsdesk at mkchannel40.com. That's all for now, and thank you for watching. Bye for now.